critical Android vulnerabilities patched. Update now. Your Android phone could be silently hacked. Google just released a crucial security update to patch some seriously dangerous vulnerabilities. You need to update your device right now to stay safe. Google has addressed 6 security flaws in Android, including 2 that are classified as critical, as detailed in their August 2025 Android Security Bulletin. This bulletin highlights a particularly nasty vulnerability that could allow a malicious actor to remotely execute code on your device, without you even having to click on anything. Imagine someone gaining complete control of your phone without you ever knowing. That's the kind of risk we're talking about here. Interestingly, Google skipped its usual monthly security update last month, a first in nearly a decade. We see dozens of vulnerabilities patched each month, so the pause was both a release, fewer immediate threats, and a little unsettling. What was going on behind the scenes? All this happened while Google announced that its AI-powered Big Sleep system had uncovered 20 vulnerabilities in various open-source software projects. It makes you wonder how many more undiscovered flaws are lurking out there. The August updates are designed for Android versions 13, 14, 15, and the latest, Android 16. Google informs Android device manufacturers about these issues at least a month before the public announcement. But here's where it gets controversial. Just because Google releases a patch doesn't mean it's immediately available for your specific phone. The rollout depends on your phone's manufacturer and carrier, and sometimes there can be significant delays. This patch gap leaves many users vulnerable for extended periods. It's a frustrating situation, and one that highlights the fragmented nature of the Android ecosystem. To check your device's Android version, security update level, and Google Play system level, head to your Settings app. You'll typically receive notifications when updates are available, but it's always a good idea to check manually. For most phones, you can find the update option by going to About Phone or About Device, and then tapping on Software Update. Keep in mind that the exact wording and location might vary slightly depending on your phone's brand, model, and Android version. So poke around a bit if you don't see it right away. If your Android phone shows a security patch level of 2025, 08, 05, or later, you're protected against these specific vulnerabilities. But remember, that's just these vulnerabilities. New threats emerge constantly, so staying vigilant and keeping your device updated is crucial for long-term security. Keeping your device up to date is the single most important thing you can do to protect yourself from known vulnerabilities and stay safe in the digital world. It's like getting a flu shot for your phone. Technical deep dive for the curious. The most critical vulnerability, known as CVE 2025-4840, is a remote code execution (RCE) flaw in the Android system. This means an attacker could potentially run malicious code on your device remotely without needing any special permissions. And this is the part most people miss. It can be triggered in combination with other bugs and without any user interaction. This makes it a top priority to patch, especially since it affects Android 16 and poses a significant risk of silent compromise. The other critical vulnerability, CVE 2025-21479, involves unauthorized command execution in the GPU micronode. A GPU micronode is a tiny but vital component within your phone's graphics processing unit, GPU. It's responsible for handling specific tasks related to rendering graphics. Think of it as a specialized worker bee in the GPU hive. If an attacker can inject malicious commands into this micronode, it can lead to memory corruption and potentially allow them to take control of the GPU, and by extension, your device. Researchers recently uncovered several serious vulnerabilities in the GPU micronodes of Qualcomm's Adreno GPUs, which power billions of Android devices. Qualcomm has acknowledged these issues and is releasing patches to address them. This particular patch fixes the second of 3 vulnerabilities they've warned about. It's a reminder that even the most sophisticated hardware can have security flaws. We don't just report on phone security, we provide it. Cybersecurity risks should never spread beyond a headline. Keep threats off your mobile devices by downloading Malwarebytes for iOS and Malwarebytes for Android today. Now, let's talk. Do you think Android manufacturers are doing enough to get security updates out to users quickly? Or are you frustrated by the delays and fragmentation? Share your thoughts in the comments below. What steps do you take to ensure your Android device is secure? Android August Security Update 2025. Key vulnerabilities addressed. What you need to know. Every Android user should pay attention. Google has recently addressed 6 vulnerabilities in its August security update, marking a significant moment after a quiet period concerning software defects in the mobile operating system throughout the summer. Many might be surprised to learn that last month, there were no security patches issued at all. That's right. Despite the usual practice of correcting numerous vulnerabilities every month, the previous update was blank. However, looking back, the monthly Android security updates had been quite active. June saw the resolution of 34 vulnerabilities, May tackled 47, April had 62, and March addressed 43. It's clear that users have enjoyed a slight lull from a barrage of vulnerabilities in recent weeks. Here's an interesting fact. Google alerts Android partners about any software defects impacting the operating system at least a month prior to public announcements, creating a system where manufacturers can prepare updates in advance. Among the vulnerabilities tackled in this month's update, the most critical is identified as CVE 2025-48530. This particular defect is a severe remote code execution vulnerability in the Android system, which is alarming since it can be exploited without any user interaction or special execution privileges. In addition, this advisory also highlighted 2 high-severity vulnerabilities, designated as CVE 2025-22441 and CVE 2025-48533, that impact the Android framework. Fortunately, these defects also do not require user interaction or advanced privileges, which raises serious questions about device security. To ease concerns, Google has assured that none of the vulnerabilities fixed in this August update are currently being exploited. In fact, the last time an actively exploited vulnerability was included in one of their monthly patches was back in May, which might leave some users wondering whether the focus on security is sufficient. This month's Android security update has 2 patch levels, 2025-0801 and 2025-0805, enabling Android partners to address typical vulnerabilities across a range of devices. The second patch specifically includes fixes for a major vulnerability affecting ARM components, as well as 2 others that involve Qualcomm components. It's important to note that third-party manufacturers of Android devices implement security patches according to their own timelines after they finalize operating system updates tailored to their unique hardware. Lastly, Google has stated that the source code patches for all 6 vulnerabilities addressed this month will be available in the Android open source project repository by Wednesday. This proactive approach signifies a step forward in keeping devices secure. But here's where it gets controversial. Are current patch practices enough for the rapidly evolving threats that Android devices face? Could there be more proactive measures to enhance user security? I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree or disagree with Google's approach to Android security updates? Google Pixel August Update, Fixing Back Button Issues. Relief is finally here for Pixel users plagued by back button woes. Google's August software update rolls out fixes for the infuriating navigation bugs that turn simple swipes and taps into battles of patience later. Whether you've been grappling with unresponsive keys or waiting up to 30 seconds for your phone to respond, this patch aims to restore the seamless navigation experience that Pixel devices are known for. But here's where it gets tricky. These problems began surfacing after Android 16's official release in June. Users reported everything from back buttons requiring multiple taps on their Pixel 9 to the swipe to go back gesture mysteriously failing. Think of it. You're scrolling through a social media feed, quickly want to backtrack to the previous page, and suddenly you're stuck because the phone refuses to acknowledge your touch. Android Police's Artem Rusikovsky even documented the frustration via social media, showing how a simple gesture could freeze the device. The patch notes mention these issues only occurred under certain conditions, but users know the real story. Inconsistent behavior haunted Pixel 6 and newer. Beyond navigation, Google also fixed a scheduled dark theme that wouldn't activate automatically and addressed a critical security vulnerability, a high-severity remote code execution flaw that posed risks to device safety. The update is currently available for Pixel 6 and newer models. But this raises interesting questions. Why does Google often obscure bug details, leaving users to troubleshoot in the dark? Should companies like Google be more transparent about what went wrong? As you apply this update, ask yourself, would you have handled this bug communication differently? Share your thoughts below. Are vague technical explanations enough? Or do you deserve clearer context about why your phone malfunctioned?